Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and it is Saturday so I'm back with another one of my slasher reviews as part of the HORRORmans Slashback Slasher Challenge series, and this week's theme was legendary slashers. So Joe wanted us to review a slasher that had a legend or a story behind them, so I've decided to go with Madman. This is one that I don't really hear too many people talk about, and it had actually been quite a while since I'd seen it, so I thought this was the perfect one to rewatch and review this week. So Madman starts off with a group of counsellors and campers sitting around a campfire, and someone is telling the legend the story of this man by the name of Madman Mars, who supposedly many years ago brutally murdered his family. He still remains living in the area, and the legend goes if you say his name louder than a whisper, he will come after you. So that is exactly what happens. One of the campers ends up screaming out his name, and Madman Mars appears and starts killing these people off one by one. So that's the legend. That is essentially the storyline behind this one. So now we'll move on to what I think of the film. So as I just mentioned before, it had been a while since I'd seen this, and this was an interesting rewatch. Apart from a couple of elements within this movie, I didn't really remember too much about it, except that I liked it. And I will say, apart from a couple of pretty big issues that I have with this movie, I still really like this one, and I definitely consider this one to be pretty underrated. So we'll start with the location. I liked the location. It's set in a camp, but the camp kind of takes a little bit of a backburn on this one, and most of the focus is kind of on the area, the wooded area surrounding the camp. But the one thing that I really liked about this movie was that the whole thing was shot at night. This was done over the course of one night, which I really liked, and it definitely worked really well for this movie. So I liked that aspect, and yeah, I quite liked the location. The characters, this is where one of my issues come into play. The characters weren't bad. There were no terrible characters within this movie. However, the acting was pretty bad, to be honest. It was very wooden. A lot of the characters didn't really show much emotion when it was needed, and there was no sense of urgency with any of the characters trying to get away from Mars, which was kind of annoying. So yeah, the acting really wasn't too good at all, very wooden. So that's one negative that I have with this film. Moving on to Mars himself, Madman Mars. He was awesome. I thought he was a really good killer. I really got behind his legend, his story, and I also loved the way that they slowly revealed him over the course of the film. So when you first saw Mars appear, he was only appearing in shadow, and then as the movie went on, you'd slowly see different parts of his body up until near the end of the film, where his entire body and look was fully revealed, so you saw exactly what he looked like. I really liked that. I thought that was extremely well done, and it definitely added to the kind of legend behind his character, the mystery and the creepiness of his character as well, and it really worked. And there were some absolutely fantastic shots and imagery of Madman Mars throughout the film as well, so I loved that aspect to the movie. And Mars had a pretty cool look. It was pretty simple. He was like a giant grotesque human, kind of similar to Victor Crowley, so that was pretty awesome. The other major issue that I had with this film was the ending. The ending, to be honest, was pretty lackluster. It was pretty weak, but other than that, I pretty much only really have positive things to say from now on. So yeah, we'll get on to the next thing that I really liked a lot about this film, is the atmosphere. The atmosphere is fantastic, and it definitely helps that this movie was shot at night. Very atmospheric, one of the most atmospheric, if not the most atmospheric slasher that I have ever seen. So if you're a fan of atmosphere and you've never seen this one, definitely check it out because the atmosphere was on point. The other thing that I really liked, and it's been done before in a lot of other films, so it's nothing new, but I thought the music and audio cues were really good in this. Every time something dramatic was about to happen, there'd be a nice little audio cue. Nothing new, it's been done before, but I really liked that aspect to the film. The music was kind of repetitive, but the music was good though, and it was pretty creepy. The next thing that I really liked about it, and I was pretty impressed, especially considering the budget of this film, it is sort of low budget, and considering the film was shot entirely at night. This movie had great cinematography. It was really well shot, and it didn't look overly dark, so massive props to whoever filmed this movie. The cinematography and the way it was shot was absolutely fantastic. So that's pretty much all I really have to say on Madman. Oh, I did quickly want to also mention the kills as well. Nothing amazing or anything like that, but the kills were pretty good. There was one standout kill for me involving a bonnet of a car. That's all I'm going to say on that. But yeah, the kills were pretty good, but nothing utterly amazing. So there you go. That's pretty much what I thought of Madman. Despite the few issues that I have with this film, the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, and overall I like this movie and I definitely would recommend it, and I do consider it to be pretty underrated. So if you've seen Madman, let me know what you think of it in the comment section below, and if you haven't and you like the sound of it, I do recommend checking it out. Anyway guys, that's it for this week's review. Until next Saturday when I'm back with another one, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.